Greetings and welcome to Die Dragon Die Presents Enter the Dungeon, episode 26. I'm your DM and host Marty, joined by the full Ontario crew, Adam, Ahmed, and Mark. How is everyone doing on this fine Saturday afternoon?
Hello.
Hello.
I'm trying to build a spell book. Oh my god!
Spellbook faster. Harder, stronger. more spells. More books.
Our work is never over.
Nope.
Oh, you're looking for a 5th level spell?
I'm looking for a 5th. I need a 5th
Hey,
divination spell.
How are you
divination.
on this fine Saturday?
Excuse me. Hey, quick question. When you guys are doing identifications, is it you try to identify it once a day and that's it? Adam?
Yeah.
Then why is Alkur not... Well, like, you can do it separately, right?
Or we can aid one another.
I,
So if you let Alkur take the lead, there's no chance you come back, or there's a much lower chance that you come back with a cursed item.
Oh, is that what you mean? Oh,
If you do it quickly, Ptolemy is slightly better.
Don't forget to adjust your initiatives, guys.
yeah.
Oh, right. 9th level.
crap.
Well, it's 9th level after you rest.
Yeah, you guys get us resting.
I think Marty's just saying you haven't
You guys go
rested
do.
yet. Crap.
You want to do a quick round table of how'd you do's? Ahmed?
Yeah.
I
Sure.
went to the Costco. The Costco had
Flashy.
very bright salmon, very very white.
Cleric food.
I don't know.
It's blessed food, apparently.
There, salmon.
Burning magnesium salmon. Awesome.
Burning magnesium salmon, basically.
Enjoy.
I'm eating the salmon. That was my day.
Costco, Adam, Ahmed, go. What's your thing?
Just took the family out and around. Nothing special.
Ahmed, family man. Mark, go.
Today is my first day off in 9 days. The previous 8 days, I worked a total of 96 hours. Fatigued.
Mark has achieved fatigue condition.
And family man, no.
Adam, provider man. Ahmed, family man. Mark, working man.
I prefer that. I was going to say Adam, consumer man.
Consumer man.
I also must say, I did reach 51-7 kill death ratio for one game. On
Okay,
Call of Duty.
Okay, there we go. Now, you need to
I was going there.
provide some context, because I'm like, what did you kill?
You certainly showed those 4-year-olds who.
You wanna, okay, yeah, I know where I get this from. It's from a family member. They're like, "Hey, did you hear about our cousin?" I'm like, "No, what? What's going on?" They're like, "They're coming for a visit." Like, "Oh, motherfucker!" God damn it!
It is a very cheap tactic to make you listen. Your brain infloods all the bad things that you're expecting.
They got a tail on the couch. Like, come on, man. Like, what the hell? Yeah.
Possibly this was reinforced through previous non-listening type behaviors.
Right.
Nah.
Oh, my professor told me.
So Bone Crusher gets...
Ooh, upgrades. So yeah, characters leveled.
That didn't work. Okay.
Bone Crusher is getting through human ancestry. He's getting rage and an animal instinct bear. There is something else that he got, and it is still skill increase. Athletics went from expert to master. So my athletics shot through the roof. It's good. And yeah, that is the clusher. Rage. Edgy giant bear monk.
Oh, you're bragging about multi-classing into barbarian? Is that
The monk
No,
can now
because
be a
it's-
barbarian. That is
Sure.
Ahmed's like, werebear isn't happening fast enough, Marty. I found some rules.
won't do it.
No, it's the funny part is when you read the rules, he doesn't get anything from bear other than the name.
If you're not nice to bears anymore,
If I'm not
then
nice
you
to
can't
bears.
get angry anymore.
That's right.
I don't know.
Don't
If
mistreat a bear.
if he's rude
Don't
to the
mistreat a
bear, he
bear.
can't be angry.
But
So-
now, does that mean I can't kill a bear that's trying to kill me?
Endless dungeon of fungal bears? Is that what we're saying?
I'm out, guys. I'm sorry, I can't do this.
Just fungus gummy bears for the rest of
Slowly walking up to him. This is not right.
This one tastes like rotting lemon. Mm. Why is this one trying to climb in my belly? Cool. What did I do in the last 24 hours? A few beers after work yesterday. Last night, I watched 2 movies related to lighthouses. One was I just happened to be Lighthouse night. I rented some movies on Netflix, and the first one was a 2018 movie called The Lighthouse, where it's just basically two Irish dudes going mad as they're
Is it
trapped.
the black and white one?
It is not the black and white one, but it's just 2 guys going mad in a lighthouse as there's like this multi-month storm that keeps them from contacting civilization. So that was neat. And then the one today was called Cold Skin. I'm only halfway through it. It's effectively a lighthouse that the military used to basically round out their budget, their spending for the end of the year. So it's this remote lighthouse down in the Pacific somewhere, like near Antarctica on an island. And it's all about how like these fish people come out of the water each night and attack this crazy lighthouse dude.
Okay, I know. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
How do you know? What are you guys watching?
and it's awesome. I'm only halfway through. It's effectively like a character kind of like Johnny Depp from Sleepy Hollow almost. He's kind of like this quirky intellectual who really likes books. Decides for whatever reason to go on this remote sort of pilgrimage. He all he wanted was just sort of remoteness for a year. Instead, he got thrust into this battle of hordes of fishmen against this one crazy lighthouse tender. So neat.
The name of the movie later.
Cold Skin.
Cool.
Yep. Fish people. Anyways, so if you see a lighthouse or fish people tonight, you'll know where. you'll know why. What are you guys getting from leveling? Why don't we do that summary once they've slept? Technically, they are still 8th level, and they have... Darian has uttered the words, "May goodness light the way," which opened up this magical portal, or porthole, in the side of the dungeon room, revealing a corridor beyond. I'm going to take a step back, and I'm going to do a recap of what happened last game, which was called Catch. The party faces off with a trio of temple leaders, including the head of the water temple, a powerful wizard, and an assassin. Alkur finds a large spellbook he penned long ago. Shadow spots a place where he took a great tumble. Darian finds an old tunic that belonged to him, symbolic of some far-off crusade. Alkur uses a divination spell to try to locate the fabled sword called the Answerer. And Alkur is still holding on to the charge of... Mark, given that you didn't watch last game and you stepped away while I was doing the recap, here it is pasted into chat. Go ahead and read.
I know you guys killed Squidward. I caught that part.
The leader of the water temple, Canon Belserig, the fish guy with
Yes.
Yes.
He was by no means the problem.
No, I didn't. I started watching it. I didn't get to finish it. Is the problem?
Okay.
I believe Lady Luck was the problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw that. I'm like, you guys are sucking. And on the going, I'm not playing him anymore. I'm not playing Kreiger anymore. You have to play Kreiger.
I've thought about it. Darian was far away from the main parts of the Empire and not a general, basically an area not known for its soul-stealing boxes, perhaps. Darian, you have a tunic that is a tunic of the Imperial Foreign Legion, and the words service for citizenship.
Or wasn't it citizenship through service?
It's citizenship through service, yeah.
See, I caught stuff.
Okay, all right. Citizenship through service. It's just kind of like a saying that is on the tip of your tongue whenever you feel this tunic. You're not too sure if you wore this tunic or somebody close to you wore this tunic, but it was a piece of your past life.
Okay. All right.
So the tunic isn't. Mark that down. It did survive a long period of time. And you're guessing it could be magical. But Darian utters the words, "May goodness light the way." The wall opens up magically, revealing a very dusty but otherwise clean corridor. There's a bend about 20 feet in to the right. There is the distinct smell of incense, maybe candles. Randomly, how goes today? Thanks for the resub, man. 16 months. This is...
Thank you very much.
Oh yeah,
It's been a long time that we've
Happy,
shared with you guys, and it tickles me to think that you guys enjoy this as much as we do. So, thanks for the support.
It surprises me.
Yeah, it surprises me that people that aren't playing want to watch. That's the part that surprises me. I get that you guys, Skype into my apartment for 12 years every Saturday or most Saturdays. So I kind of like.
You think that's what we're Skyping
in? Wait, what?
When we started, it was like, would anybody watch just D&D? Was a question of like a legitimate question of unedited, going through an
9
adventure
hours.
Yeah. Yep.
We were just wishing Fox happy birthday. He turned 25 today.
Oh, happy birthday!
Yeah.
Good work.
Good work
There's
on
35 years to go.
on the aging.
Good work on 25 years of survival.
Hey man, life's not easy.
Nope.
May you survive 25 more.
It is a quiet chamber. It does not look like anyone has tread here in a very long time. And the party is stymied by the open door. I understand.
Mark.
Yeah.
Have your character go through the goddamn door.
Oh, sorry.
Try to finish the spellbook. I have led you to. It should be past this threshold. Darian.
Darian will. Yeah, he'll go through. And where's? I gotta go to the map. What level is this on?
Level 3.
Okay, I'm on the right level. Where are we? Oh, there we are. Okay. Thank you for forcing me there.
Yes, it's around the corner. Into the right.
Darian, your first step into the room, you realize that you have entered holy ground.
Like legitimate holy ground, or like
legitimate holy ground. So it stops you there. At the same time, you know that you've hit legitimate holy ground. You are assailed with the image of an angelic being nailed to a cross, and with many like wooden spears and stakes kind of all over it, and bleeding, crying out into the vast wilderness of destruction and desolation. It's like a flash, but you know you're on holy ground, and this holy ground is wrathful.
Well, not really a wrathful guy, but given where we are, I think this place can use a little wrath. Yeah, we'll keep going. On your toes, boys.
Right. Don't get yourself too far.
Shadow's holding back.
Okay.
His shadow's holding the rear.
Oscar heard a hissing noise in his mind, like something you've had there for so long that you didn't realize it was there until it was gone. But you heard this, and something in your peripheral vision went scooting way to the back of your head. It was this greenish flash. It was as you were passing the threshold of the room.
We'll do like a two-step. There'll be a minor two-step.
Okay, whatever that presence was is gone, but it feels like there's a big empty part of your head now. Like there's a space. Like a little lizardy ferret sized space that is empty.
It's nothing.
When it was leaving, it was like a tendril or like a tail kind of went across the inside of your forehead above your eyes as it was leaving.
There's no tentacles in my head. It's fine.
Okay, Bonecrusher and Shadow are standing there. They both notice that like Darian paused for a good moment and that Oscar is now rubbing his eyes. Both of them had a weird reaction as they passed in through this chamber.
Crusher steps in. He's preparing himself for whatever this is.
Okay. Crusher, you don't feel anything different. There is a smell to the place that reminds you of like a temple.
This is to Oscar. This is some sort of temple.
I hope so. It's where the good stuff's hidden. I mean, we will liberate the relics from the...
I'm shoveling shit all day.
Shadow's pointing at the others like, go on, I'll cover you.
Alright.
Shadow knows there's nothing actually on the left. He's gonna cover on this side.
It's around the corner on the right. Kind of that wood. He's pointing kind of back here.
Yeah, Alkur, your spell is now pointing you in this direction towards...
It needs to be some sort of J or a long hallway.
Alkur, when you cross the threshold, you do realize that you have passed on to holy ground. Give me a moment.
Oh, we're blessed. Oh, it's lovely.
Nice for a change, ain't it?
It is both lawful and good holy ground.
We could rest here, you know.
Actually, Bonecrusher and
thinking
Alkur
the
do
same
realize
thing.
when they cross into this threshold that you might actually be hedged from the mental contact that you have in your mind.
Question looks back at Alkur like,
Is the evil gone for you too?
this is excellent.
It is. Maybe they have room for a crafting table.
See what's behind you.
Are you,
After you, Darian.
are your knees knocking together? You need me to go first? Oscar will like.
There's
look
a
perhaps-
little bit of light coming from around the corner. Like we're talking like a taper or a candle is lit. You can see along this awkward diagonal wall is a shrine to some deity. The deity has the look of like a green-skinned Egyptian god with like a flat head. He seems to be holding up like this this carved beautiful lantern that is spreading its light out. And there's like a starry wilderness that this god creature is sort of floating through. You get the sense that it is an old deity. There is a single taper of black wax, but with like little silvery star flecks in it that is burning. And probably adding to the smell. Around the side, however, there is an altar that has, and these walls have tapestries and tunics and holy symbols on pegs, and all sorts of idols of little gods, and burnt candles that once, like little tea candles that have all been mostly used up. There is a placard along the wall that says, "Venerate this shrine of good, then haste away, all ye of true and good faith."
Then haste away?
Yep.
Like, venerate and fuck off? Is that what it's
You're welcome for a few minutes.
Is it,
Hey, Al.
Yes. Hey, this is like your temple, right?
Oscar sees the glittering artifacts of all the precious metals, holy symbols of dozens of gods. You know that priests are always good for making things precious and sparkly. There's like all sorts of objects that are littering this table.
We just want to be careful, Darian. There might be traps.
There's no traps. There's no traps in this room.
You two going in or what?
I don't know if I like this place. Squish. All right. Ptolemy comes in. He doesn't complain about anything. He moves around the corner. What a curious little room.
Indeed. Venerate this shrine of good, and haste away all ye of true and good faith.
Okay.
See, where I come from, that kind of reads like, leave me something and fuck off, which doesn't kind of sit with the way I feel about this place.
Well, good people wouldn't linger here. It's only temple people that would. You know, the greater the greater elemental temple of Evil, and gives you a wink.
Oh, okay, as long as that's what you meant by temple people.
Well, we're sort of temple people now, aren't we?
I am not temple people.
Shadow comes back.
Well, you kind of got the, some of the accoutrements.
Kreiger, you don't feel anything in this place, neither does Shadow.
Well, we keep killing everybody. Eventually, we'll be the only people in the temple that'll make us temple people.
That's right.
Hey, Oscar.
We're cleaning out my temple, and we'll just drop that evil part at the end.
Yeah.
Oscar, we need to close this door. Show me how to close it. This is not a place to be attacked.
The door kind of opened via magic, like some sort of pass wall spell.
Oh, there's no like.
It was like
it kind of like organically spread.
Is it still open?
Yep, still open.
I'm fairly certain this place is protected against evils. They will not wish to chase us into here.
Whatever.
This
All right,
is an
let's,
excellent place for us to
Oscar,
rest.
this really, really odd shaped wall, your dwarven senses are telling you that the wall has actually got a hinge here and can be pulled open. This large bar, while it looked sort of ceremonial and has like a little bit of a shelf built into it, is more of a pull handle. Yeah.
It's not like a ballet school.
Is there a dent over here, Marty?
What's that?
Is there like a dent over here in the wall?
Yeah, there is. There is a little groove in the wall.
Hey, Darian. You want to carefully open up that door. Yep. Grab it with both hands. Give her a nice tug.
Who do you think the green guy is? Says Ptolemy.
Religion check?
Knowledge, religion, yes.
Hang on, I gotta check Darian.
I don't know, but any reprieve from the evil.
I have a
is
feeling
welcome.
Alkur's got a better chance at this than Darian. But...
I will subtract 1 from my roll to represent my pre-sleepy state.
Religion?
Religion.
Oh, plus 11 because we haven't rested yet. Yeah.
Shit.
I got a 19.
I got a 30. I got a 31.
Oh,
I got 17.
Crusher got a 31 on that one.
31. Crusher knows who this is.
Yes, of course. This is the green...
The green meanie.
The green...
Folstis is the god of law and light. He, his symbol, which is prevalent on the lantern that he's holding, is a silvery sun with a crescent moon in the lower right quadrant. Some religions say that Folstis placed the suns and moons in the sky and gave it predictable rhythms so that creatures may know order in their lives. They seek the destruction of chaos, darkness, and evil. At least his paladins do. They're known for also the flip side of being merciful.
okay.
As in, like, vengeful or wrathful?
No, like they are known for great works of mercy as well as being crusaders against basically what this temple. There is some scripture from the Fulton canon that is inscribed in the wall. It says, "O blinding light, O light that blinds, I cannot see, look out for me."
Okay.
With a 31, you know that Folstis is not a greater deity because he chooses to plant the seeds of law and good on a world and then uses his magical lantern to go to the next. He's like the tip of the spear of the vanguard of civilization.
He's Johnny Appleseed. He's Johnny Appleseed of light and good.
Maybe he's the reason you went all priestly this time. So you can use the lantern.
Curious that somebody who would take time to carve his image in this place.
Does it look crafted, like very well done? Or does it look...
Yeah, it looks like it looks like somebody made like plates of jade that they then affixed via masonry to the wall. So it's like a carving of jade that is really flat. It does have depth to it, and it shows Folstis holding up his lantern and kind of like floating through space on his way to presumably another world.
So in the pantheon of nameless gods, would this guy be considered like a servant of the source behind the light? Or
No,
he,
this is a depiction of one of the old gods, and these gods are not around anymore.
But
this is a
there's
very
no
old
light.
temple.
What is that source of light coming from then? These gods do not... They haven't... They're no longer around.
Might I remind everyone, this temple is from another plane and was just sort of pulled into existence here.
Crusher with his 31 vaguely recalls a story where Folstis then turned to the great unknown, to the outside of all things, and decided that this was the place where light and good must go. And he flew there and was never seen again.
I do not think he's around. He went beyond. And he's never been seen since.
Well, there's
Sounds
something
like a
of
crap leader to me.
There's something of him here. That much I can be sure of. I could sense it as soon as I walked in.
No, the magics are here, but I do not know if he is.
If you can sense his magics, part of him's here.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, cool, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just yank on that there. There, turn around and pull on that door.
I do not see a sword. Why is the dwarf making noises?
Darian does as instructed, but like he's doing that thing where he's doing it, but he's eyeballing him out of the corner of his eye.
Okay, the wall does move after you kind of unhinge a couple of things, and it moves very slowly. It takes a unconcerted amount of effort. There is a curtain of darkness that is behind this door, almost like you pulled back Fultus to reveal a sky without stars.
While Darian's opening the door, we're just going to take a quick appraise to see if there's anything particularly nice on the offering desk.
She's walking up to him. I can see in the dark. I'll come with you.
Your dark vision does not pierce this darkness.
I cannot see into this darkness. I'm not going with you.
Oh, Oscar, it's all nice. Even some of the things that are made from wood do have stylized carvings in them. This is you could open up a shop with the stuff that's on this table.
All right, that means this is long-term ploy.
Yep.
So
there are like little statues made from jade and stone and other semi-precious stones. There are some bronze, silver, gold, maybe even platinum holy symbols of various deities. There's a little gold dragon statue, like a statuette. There is a silver egg with etching on it, which is about the size of a small coconut.
Do you think these items are what keeps this place good? Or holy?
I'm pretty certain these are just left behind by the goodly folks of the ages that were looking for blessings, and basically they're historical artifacts, really.
Oh yes, they belong in a museum.
Yeah, with the, a little box at the front where you put in your silvers so you can take a look at the holy artifacts. Right that way,
because that's
we're
where
being
you
respectful.
Put them. A museum.
As long as you got a box at the front to take donations.
We haven't found the most important part yet.
Then we didn't,
I didn't see a donation box in this room. Maybe we should install one.
We should install one.
I think the donation box is the table over there. Your donations are to be added to that.
Okay, we've got 2 shadows. There we go.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
Shadow spawn.
He bit someone, son of a...
He puts Squish down on the table, and Squish is like moving amongst the idols and looking at them.
The answer is over there.
Yeah, your location spell is kind of going in this direction and just a little bit down. Kind of like you're kind of guessing at like at naval level.
It's about a belly button height. That way. He'll actually line up behind Darian and sort of like aim along it.
Yeah.
There.
Crusher's coming in with Darian.
You're plunging into the darkness?
You'll go with Darian.
Mark is muted, I think.
My guy's not moving. I don't know.
Oh, okay, because I
There's
haven't...
darkness. You can't move into the darkness.
Oh, I see.
Are you bringing light with you?
Marty, I attack the darkness.
He'll take a light spell on his.
Okay, so it's like the curtain of darkness is only like an inch thick. Your light does pierce beyond, revealing a elongated hexagonal table. There is a raised platform made out of stone, some cobwebs through age, and a single stone sarcophagus. The stone sarcophagus looks like it might have like a three-dimensional carving on top of it, and there's a very, very large, you don't know whether it's a blanket or like a funerary shroud that has been laid atop that. Immediately, you recognize the funerary shroud as having the trappings of royalty in the kingdom of what was it called? No, that's a quadrant name.
Pennsylvania?
The kingdom of Samsil.
Oh, okay, no.
Which is the name of this one face of the cube of Runarek.
Yes.
This is like royalty. We're talking King Hestrin's family.
Okay. He'll look at everything before he touches anything. Really, there's two spots.
Willing to share damage with him.
Any runes in the dais,
or? The dais looks like it's a place perhaps for sermons or spell casting. There are no runes upon it. It's covered in dust. It doesn't look like anyone's been there for a while. There are some offerings that are lined up against the sarcophagus. You see in its sheath a jeweled dagger. There are a couple of urns as well. And some old, like really old, fragile remnants of flowers and perhaps foodstuffs that were offered in bowls. It looks like a well, if this is truly royalty, there would be many more offerings than this. There are still some valuable things that are offered at the foot of the sarcophagus. You are muted, Mark, so I don't know what you're saying.
Everything looks safe. You can come on in, unless the mild taint on your souls burns somewhat as you enter.
Okay. Your voice does not carry into the next room.
Hey.
You all right?
He's clapping his... He doesn't know. He's clapping his hands.
Why didn't
pay
you follow us?
attention?
We said come on in.
Perhaps it's like a private sanctum or something similar.
So they didn't hear us. Likely story.
Head out of the clouds, Al. We're still on duty.
Where's everyone going? You stay here, Squish, with your new friends.
All right, now that the adults are gone.
Squish just googly eyeing Oscar. Fish head opens up and closes a couple of times, doesn't make any noise.
Oscar will attempt to alleviate the table from 5 random, easily missable, assuming Darian's not like on point enough with his ability to count.
Okay, so the platinum statuette of the dragon god needs to go in your pack.
There it goes.
The silver dragon egg is beautiful and probably magical by those etchings.
All right, so platinum dragon statue, and there was a silver dragon egg.
Yep. Like, I'm not talking about like an actual dragon egg. I'm talking about like an egg made from silver.
Bit of silver.
Yeah.
Silver dragon egg, and I'll say carving.
Silver dragon's egg.
3 more items. there is what looks like, you know those like very simplistic depictions of solar systems, like orreries. This is sort of in a medallion form, like it has bands with the planets on them of some world, and at the center there's like a glowing gem. This looks valuable.
Solar system amulet.
There is this.
Why am I putting this all on Alkur's sheet? He's not the.
There is this 6 foot tall golden statue of this white-haired bare-chested Azamar man.
We'll come back for you because he might notice that.
Chiseled into the bottom of it is some proper name in Celestial. I don't know if you read Celestial or not.
Oscar reads, Infernal is related to Celestial. Is it written in something Infernish?
Yeah, it is a similar alphabet, maybe.
We're not going to try to pronounce his name using Infernal.
Right? He's standing in some sort of like heroic pose. Like it's a god that seems to be full of himself.
Yep. You said 6 foot, right?
No, 6 inch.
Oh, 6 inch into the bag. Into the bag. Gold statue of Little Asmar.
Yep.
Asmar.
He seems to have like a halo of like a starburst behind his head. Look at randomly.
Oh Jesus! Hey, randomly. I didn't pick up on that. I was like, oh, there's some prick made himself into a statue.
That was 1, 2, 3, 4, and I need a 5th item. There's a curious and really, really old. It's called a phylactery. It's like a headband with a little box that has some like really old looking scrolls or scriptures kind of in it. Oscar's like, even though that's not gold, you know it's old, and sometimes that's better than gold. And there's a saying,
there's something written down.
There's something written down in it. So you pick up this really fine, really old, has a nice patina on it. You know better than to clean it, because
No.
that would scrape away the value of its age.
And then he slightly readjusts everything to make certain that there's no, like, empty...
Okay. Squish kind of hops into the table. He's just sort of staring at you. His I guess at this point, vestigial gills are kind of going in and out. He's looking at you. Kreiger and Shadow walk over as Oscar finishes his pilfering.
Liberating.
What you doing?
Leave some good for me, buddy.
God, you smell like a dog.
You can see Oscar like arranging.
Shadow starts rubbing himself all over Kreiger.
You're surprised.
Get away from me.
You're surprised that Oscar isn't taking all the statues. He seems to be like fixing them so they're equidistant from each other.
Oh no, are we running out of room in the bag?
No. This is a highly respectable sort of temple place that we need to turn into a museum and charge for. Otherwise, Darian might come and cause me physical pain. And I don't like pain. Physical or otherwise.
Oh, that's the type of pain he usually distributes, so yeah, okay.
Ptolemy just sits down on the stairs. Who do you think it is?
Darian will ask Crusher to help him remove the funerary shard, like in a respectful manner, to fold it up.
Yep, no problem.
Okay. There is a chiseled depiction of the person inside. He is wearing armor. And I've got a token for him. You immediately recognize that this crypt has the depiction of Prince Thrommel. The prince that went missing. This is King Hestron's son. And that's what he looks like.
Damn it.
Keep it there. I'm coming.
The depiction of the warrior is got his eyes closed. He's staring straight up. He's wearing like battle armor, and in his clutches is an actual broadsword or bastard sword that has 3 missing gems from its pommel.
Oh!
The sword is naked, not even in a scabbard, and you are staring at the Answerer.
I believe it's right there.
We found it.
Do you want your stones back?
Yes.
Is there a location for where the stones are supposed to be? Or how they're supposed to be placed?
Well, I'm hoping they just kind of only fit in one spot. Not like that toy you had when you were a kid with the square peg and the round peg and
The cut of the gems is all different, at least the first 2.
You know what order they're supposed to be in. And let me get that.
I think we
order for
critted
you.
our knowledge
Yep.
answer earlier.
Okay. Yeah, you know what order they're supposed to go into from top to bottom. It's supposed to be the Stone of Retaliation, the Stone of Whispers, and the Stone of Answering.
okay. So he will gently remove the blade.
Okay. This apparently will require either some sort of thievery check or breaking the stone fingers that are around.
He doesn't want to do that. Damn it.
If only you knew someone who was good at extracting things from places.
I'll find sticky fingers.
Crusher cracks knuckles.
Easy. Easy. Artifacts and all.
There is magic in this room, says Ptolemy. He pings again, and it's not just that sword.
Oscar,
Yep.
I need your sticky fingers.
There.
You ask Oscar, he's like, Oscar's like, yeah.
Give me a perception check, Darian, against Oscar's thievery.
Okay.
You want my thievery DC?
Yes.
Oscar's.
Of you making the table look like nothing's missing.
Yep. Hey, no, it's all there. It's full. 31 is the DC.
Okay.
I have to get a 19 or higher. Oh, too big a D.
D's too big.
Your D is too big.
Nope.
Okay, so
26.
you're surprised to see all the artifacts still on the table. Maybe Oscar's coming around.
That's how we do it. It just gives you a nod of approval, like you didn't steal anything. Good for
We're
you.
setting up a museum. Hey. That'd be a sword.
Yeah, it's the sword we're looking for.
How did he get his hands around here? Oscar wants to take a look. Is they carved the hands around the sword?
Yep. Or they carved it so that the sword could be placed in the hands.
It's like a puzzle. Like there's like the one way to get it out.
Yeah. There you gotta try to angle it out and
Twisted.
It's a
and-
Twisted.
depiction. It's not like they've just took a stat. Like they didn't just make this guy like look at Medusa and then shoved him into a
No,
coffin.
this is
What we're going to do is take a peasant, put him on top of the coffin, make him wrap his hands around it, and turn him
no.
to
Oscar
stone.
definitely sees that there is a line, and this is the lid of the sarcophagus, and sometimes people who are buried with offerings like this are also buried with treasure. You're guessing a nice suit of armor might be in there.
There might be a new pair of breeches in there. Well, newish. New to you. It's the important thing.
Prince Thrommel was part of the party that defeated the temple the first time, and with those two wizards placed all those warding spells here, but did not have enough power just to outright destroy the temple.
I mean,
It was in the years after that victory that he went missing, and no one has been able to find him, despite numerous attempts and crusades to find him.
So they succeeded, at least somewhat, and then he came back?
Ugh.
Apparently? Why would he come back?
Huh?
Well, the story is he and those two other wizards put up the wards and fought the evil here. Then years later he disappeared, so he came back.
if I was going to theorize with, I don't know, actually to raw theorize in this situation might be a really practical approach to problem solving, as the theory might be influenced by our past selves and more first-hand knowledge of events. Anyways, perhaps part of this ritual that they used to enclose this place made him bonded to it in some way. That is what I would assume. The magics that they were using were temporary at best and would have required great sacrifice to put in place.
You think he sacrificed himself to keep the wards up?
That would be my interpretation. There's only been a few sources of goodly magic in this place. This is one of them. Maybe some fucker got him and shoved him in here to hide him away, and the whole this place just
And then just made it holy?
maybe it was a holy prick. Maybe this guy was a prick.
You haven't spent much time with actual holy people, have you?
I've spent time with people full of holes.
That much I believe.
What a delicious pun.
My lord!
The pun is delicious, not people with holes in them. I don't eat people.
That's right. We don't eat people.
He's eyeing Oscar like, why are you saying it like that? I am going to pretend that I am okay with everything I just heard.
It's an
Okay.
important lesson.
Uh,
Even when times are hard, you don't eat people.
Alkur, you can see the runes that still exist on the blade itself. The gems give the blade additional powers, and you know there's a resonant power when all three of the gems are in the blade. But the blade itself does look like it still has some standard magical runes.
The blade is hefty.
Yeah, it's...
I mean, it's even without the gems, it's still a powerful blade.
Oh,
I mean, to be perfectly honest, this blade's the only thing I've really been thinking about for the last hour or two.
here it is.
Are you
Share
finally
your
dropping?
thoughts.
Are you finally dropping the?
Not until it's in our hands.
Well, copper for your thoughts then, Al. Do share with the rest of us.
It will be a useful tool in slaying the evils that are abound. It might even be something that could be useful in rallying support or the like. It is an inspirational figure.
Yeah, he is.
He does have iconic armor.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's just the whole defiling a grave thing I'm having problems with. Help me out here. I know greater good and all, but
Well, it's simple. You have
Oscar-
to think about it.
Oscar identifies that this is a cold iron longsword. A high
Somebody
grade
like demons.
or a superior grade, whatever the highest grade of cold iron it is. That's what it is.
This is the good stuff. Oh, it's made out of good stuff. You can put all sorts of thingies on this one. Are you sure this is your answer thing? Cause
it is.
it is. I am certain that it is the blade that goes with these gems. Alright, Oscar, look for traps,
Okay.
because I know that the paladunk thinks that good means not trapped, but Oscar's pretty certain that good means actually trapped. We didn't protect you. It's not treasure if it's not trapped. So we're just gonna take a peek. 28.
You don't see any traps.
It'd be a 20. It would be a 30 if the trap was in the stone. Which I still might not see any traps. All right, I will attempt to. Actually, Alkur will use a single action spell to give Oscar a 12 in the bank and like a bit of luck.
If anyone tells Shadow, it can probably aid.
This is kind of the paladin's little zone. We're trying to convince the paladin that we're going to open up the tomb and steal all the armor. So just
Believe me, Mark wants that to happen.
we'll
Keep the
find a
werewolf
way.
out of it.
Let's keep the werewolf out of it. Yeah, exactly.
Who's
Okay.
the dead shithood?
All right. So Oscar will attempt to finagle the sword out, and he'll take the 33.
Okay. DC 30, you manage to remove the blade from its spot. What's Oscar's alignment?
Oscar's alignment is lawful neutral. Heavy on the neutral.
Walking that tightrope, but teetering every now and then.
Oscar felt a whimpering from the place where the little lizard thing disappeared in his mind. Like when you hold the blade, you hear whimpering, like in the it. If you don't think it's in your head, it sounds like like from the back of the chamber. But you turn your head, and then it comes from the back of the chamber that you're now facing the opposite direction.
Quit your bitching! Sorry.
Who are you talking to?
Inner demons.
The blade is heavy, and Darian, it has like this silverish glow. There is holy energy coming off of this blade.
Your pig sticker, Melige. Oscar will hand it to you, handle first.
He takes it and kind of holds it up.
Okay? Your hand clinks around the...
Is the locate moving with the...
Yes.
Okay, we will dismiss the locate.
There's an almost like a slight angelic ping. Light from the blade washes over Darian. As it recedes slightly, Darian, you have the knowledge that you now have in your possession the Answerer, also known as the Whisperer or the Retaliator. Its true name is Fragorak, and its stats in its current form are on page 601. And we shall call it a Holy Avenger.
Oh my goodness.
The holy boomstick.
The sword that belonged to Prince Thrommel, the Paladin Lord, the Paladin Prince.
such a gang of murderers. Ahmed, I know how you say you don't feel powerful in this system. I feel powerful.
Was page 601? Hold on.
It's like, who do you keep from murdering you? You got Shadow doing his thing and Oscar stabbing you for getting hit. Krieger, it's like if you hit Krieger, Darian's gonna beat the shit out of you. If you attack Darian, you got Crusher.
Which stones do you have, Mark?
I have.
Is the Holy Avenger?
Yes, it's a Holy Avenger. Where are you?
I need a quiver of Holy Avengers. Let me throw them at you.
Where are my stones?
Let's break the blade in a whole bunch of arrow-shaped
Where are my
pieces.
stones? Are they in a bag?
I know you have 2 of the 3 stones. I just forgot
Yes.
which ones.
Well, I don't think I found out what the second stone was. Just was
It
a
was
stone
the,
that.
it was the second one.
Yeah, I see party.
We're gonna have to check the tapes.
Oh, wow. You want to crit with this puppy.
What?
You want to crit with the sword.
Quit reading it before I do. I don't know what.
When I get a page number, it means you can go and read it. That's exactly what I do.
Come on, where are you?
What does this thing do?
Yeah, it should be the stone of is what we're searching for.
Oh, Marty, can we turn the hammer into a salamander hammer?
What is this?
Salamander
You
hammer.
can definitely move
we're
runes
gonna
around,
get the-
right? So
We're gonna call it the flapjack or
It's the
something. It's just
salamander. What's
instant
it do?
barbecue.
Oh, fire?
Yeah, move the stuff from the.
Yes.
Where
I would also like some
Oh,
extra magic on
fuck.
my bow, if you please.
I wonder if I got. Oh shit!
Because I can hit more things.
I wonder if I got rid of
them.
them when I move sheets.
Fucked up, Mark. Here, I'm
Yes,
gonna look up. I'm looking up basic words like stone.
yeah, because that's not gonna have a gazillion hits.
Dull grain iron stone. No. Answer. I think. Do I have it written?
Stone of Retaliation is on one of your sheets. So I think you have the Stone of Retaliation. I think that's the one that that Isolde gave you. And the one that your father gave you, or your grandfather's spirit gave you.
I don't have it on my current sheet.
Let's figure out which one the lady gave you. Baby mama.
I did something and got rid, and I lost them.
Okay, so the Stone of Retaliation's one. And in worst case,
roll
just
if
to
you
move
want.
forward, we could just roll D2.
Don't.
Now they have 2 of the 3.
No, we don't have the last one.
It'll be in the hands of something horrible and positive.
At least it's not on the blade or something horrible.
I actually think it was the Stone of Answering, but anyways.
It can be the stone man.
Okay, sure. So the Stone of Retaliation. Oh, what are you doing with the stones?
He's gonna allow Alkur to put them in. He's not gonna. Alkur's the magic item guy.
Do they have to be worked in, or do you just kind of slot them in?
Let's see. Give me a craft check, Alkur.
Oh, I haven't rolled one of these in such a long time. All right. 19 would have been my before sleeping. 24.
Yeah, you might be able to put these stones in with about an hour of work apiece.
It'll take some time to get them in. but they do match. This is a mighty fine blade.
It is. You should get some rest first, though. You've earned it. We all have.
Yeah, well, ain't no rest for the wicked, and
Then you must be very tired.
Ptolemy bumps Oscar and like, what do you think is in there?
well, I'm thinking that look at this fancy armor the guy's got on. Additionally, we have proven thus far that he dropped his sword somewhere and they put it on a box. But we don't know that he's in there. And we also don't know that he's not on the same merry-go-round that we are.
That's actually a very valid point.
So we should probably very respectfully and using all the due diligence and the incense and then open it up.
I agree with them.
And you might want to be ready just in case he's like a mummy and really pissed off to like very gently undo.
I know what Oscar's. We all know what Oscar's motivations are. But
Ptolemy, for some
deep
reason,
down, you know that we must.
is miming what Oscar's saying.
And, yeah, anything that will help us.
If it were me, I'd want the goodly folk to take my equipment. Go ahead.
All right then.
Oh. How very pragmatic of you.
Yeah, it's called not being selfish, okay?
Don't bother, Oscar. Don't bother. You wouldn't understand.
I see what you did there. I like my squire with his shiny blade. Ooh, it gives me shivers.
Yeah. I think Squish is gonna like it.
I don't know. He's in the other room. I can go and ask him.
If you go into the other room, you see Kreiger using some of the idols as action figures with Squish going.
Squish is just hopping around. He finds it fun. His psyche is a tiny bit of Ptolemy, so I can see Ptolemy playing action figures with Kreiger. Letting your guard down in the holy ground.
All right.
Krieger's, I cast fireball.
Inspect the casket for traps.
Okay. Somebody long ago attempted to seal this with wax, but the wax has crusted a little bit.
Amateurs. I mean, amateurs. I ain't got other. We will. 27 on the trap check.
Okay. As much as you gather, you're seeing telltale signs that there may be magic within. There's no obvious effect.
All right then. Well, it's probably gonna do a thing. Y'all might want to step back.
Okay.
Do you want help?
All right. No. First thing, we are very carefully. He's like looking over to Darian and respectfully and not smashingly opening. We are very delicately and preservingly opening.
If Oscar lifts one end of the lid and Bonecrusher lifts the other, you could probably lift the lid off and set it down on the ground, respectfully and non-smashingly.
Yeah, non-smashingly. We're not. It's not like a door.
It's like careful now, careful. Ooh, gold.
All right. So Oscar and Bonecrusher are lifting the lid off.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be attacked by.
Oscar uses his crowbar a little bit, glancing over at Darian as he makes a couple of little grooves, and then the Crusher's just strong enough that he.
Crusher's going to Marty. Crusher's going to say like a religious thing for the dead.
Yep.
Rest your battles are over and your life. Blah 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 blah.
Prince Thrommel was a great warrior.
Yeah, and it kind of follows what I follow. So.
And he was wealthy as shit.
You lift the lid off, and there is a figure that isn't as decayed as you thought in some heavy armor. The heavy armor, however, is he doesn't have his helmet on or a faceplate on, and he's sleeping, but he's got some features that are startling at best.
Hey, buddy. He's got some kissing lips.
He's just got his hands clasped in the same way that he did.
Oh.
At first you thought it was some monster, but at a second glance, you're like, there are still facial features that allow you to recognize him as Prince Thrommel.
Crusher's like,
Oh, that's not good.
Okay, you take a step away. The body does not budge. There is a bit of dust that is on him. Crusher takes a step back. Basically, the lid is lying beside the sarcophagus.
You need to do this.
After you.
Oh,
you want, I
he
can.
does not look too well, says Ptolemy. He scrambles back
Oh.
behind Alkur.
No, he does not.
I'm readying mountain stands.
Okay.
All right, so I think he's sleeping. So we should
Not
what,
wake him up.
like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, something like that. Fuck if I know, it's dark down here.
Can you detect if he's evil
So
or
why
not?
don't we just give him a piggyback ride upstairs?
Sense evil?
We should just lock Shadow in a tower for a while.
Yeah, fair, yeah. When in doubt, you know.
It's quite amusing, actually.
Why would we? Oh, I understand.
Do you think the sword was what was keeping him asleep? If so, we should use it now.
Well, that explains why he's gone missing.
Yeah, I believe this has put himself into exile. He's probably trying to save others through some sort of sacrifice.
Oscar, are you still standing this
sense-
close?
Oscar's kind of is doing the like. We should
Is he
probably
evil?
Drag him up to the upstairs. Like Oscar thinks we should be like either piggybacking him out of there or just sort of dragging him up to see the sunlight. Is he so? Like, let's do a knowledge check. Yeah, Oscar's still relatively close.
Okay,
Knowledge religion.
sure. And then Mark, you were trying to say something?
Can Darian's gonna use his sense evil?
Okay, is that
Ability?
what power is that from?
That is, or do I, no, I don't have, or do I have that yet?
Check your sword.
Yes, page 113. I gotta check it.
26.
Yeah, this is some sort of Nosferatu-esque vampirism.
He's a vampire.
Maybe we should bring Shadow in here. He loves this sort of thing.
Right. Ptolemy shoves his head through the darkness.
Well, maybe he's a good vampire. And let's see.
Yeah, I don't think that a good vampire is a thing.
Ptolemy shoves his head through the curtain of darkness. Oh, how dare you have fun without me? Shadow, you're needed in here, and Kreiger, you may want to come in here too.
Oh,
All right.
all right, but the wizard.
Yep. Ptolemy comes in, takes cover behind Alkur.
I'll curl cast shield.
Can Shadow still hear when he steps through the darkness?
Yes.
Outside, can he hear outside?
Yes.
Somebody keep an eye out in there.
Oh, and there's some ugly dude in a box at the
Oh shit! Oh god damn it! Not again.
All right, Mark. What was Darian doing?
He was sensing evil.
How are you doing this?
It's my 8th level feat. When in the presence of an aura of evil that is powerful or overwhelming, you eventually detect the aura, though you might not do so instantly. And you can't pinpoint the location. This acts as a vague sense similar to a human sense of smell. An evil creature using disguise Okay, or otherwise trying to hide its presence attempts a deception check against your perception. DC to hide its aura from you. If the creature succeeds at it, okay. So basically, if there's an evil presence, I will eventually go. Yeah, there's something wrong here.
Okay. And this is from just being a paladin?
No, this is my 8th level feat.
Oh, nice. Okay. I just sent you a DM message.
Yeah, I'm looking. Oh, sure. Why am I putting it there? And total. So 21 total.
Okay. Give me your perception check as you are raising your hand, and he's concentrating, and his hand's glowing slightly.
Sorry, 20.
20? Okay.
Yeah. 25 on that.
You are... I'm going to tell you in chat. Yeah.
Hang on a sec.
I think we're supposed to stake him.
Hold your stakes.
Actually, need sunlight.
Or we could drag him outside like we did with...
I was thinking give him a payback ride.
I'm not sensing anything from him.
There's a ladder that'll take you all the way up.
It will. Maybe it's one of them, like, light and dark turning into some sort of gray mush. He's real evil and this is real good, so he kind of comes off as just being nothing. Look at his face.
Well, look at your face.
I'm a handsome boy.
Darian.
Your mother told you that, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
Darian, is it possible that he covered himself with these items that are good, so that the good keeps him from becoming evil?
I don't think that's how vampire works.
He might have had some sense before he fully turned, and ordered this to happen. In any case.
Yeah, so let's just kill him, guys. It's enough of this bullshit. Look at him. His mouth looks like a can opener. Let's go.
We could sprinkle garlic on him.
His mouth's
Are
already
you?
open. I mean, it doesn't close. Look at the thing.
Not
Hey, look, Darian, I'm sorry, buddy, but...
not like we want to eat him. It's just they may not like garlic.
just brings bad memories.
His mouth is sort of open a little bit. We can sneak a couple of cloves in.
Yep. There you go.
Open wide.
Here comes a pterodactyl.
He definitely looks dead, though, right?
Yes, he has pallid skin,
undead.
and his veins are all wrong, and those teeth are definitely monstrous, and all of your religious training is telling you that this is a vampire. However,
Trust me, it's a vampire.
note in DM.
What is
Yeah.
it?
All right.
Unknown force is making you stop killing him.
Darian pulls out his sword, lights it up, just in case.
Okay.
Then he kind of like knocks on the chest plate. Hey, if you're undead, I want to talk to you.
Okay, the chest plate like does bang, like it's solid. His body doesn't move.
Your Highness. He's
Dun, 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 dun.
You mean he's sleeping?
They respond to blood.
well, if he's sleeping pretty soundly.
Yeah, he doesn't budge. He wiggles a little bit, but he doesn't budge.
I have a scroll that might allow me to dominate his mind, or lack thereof.
Well, let's save that. Get that ready in case he gets up. In the meantime, if he is a vampire, we don't need to be fighting a vampire with armor on.
I understand.
Oh, now you're thinking.
Is there a latch on this thing? Like, if we close this door, can we open it from the side?
Which door?
Like the big hinged wall.
There is sort of a big pull ring on this side that'll allow you to open it from this side.
Okay.
Don't want him escaping if he does make a run for it. Kreiger, why don't you come in here and,
He
get
can't
her...
hear you.
Oh, shit. They're talking about you inside. Why don't you come on in?
All right.
And Shadow seals them up for good.
Fucking like you guys, anyways.
Now to be a real werewolf.
I'm joining the temple.
He goes in, closes it after him.
Imagine how much XP you would get by killing a bunch of quasi 9th level characters.
I don't know if that
I
counts
know.
as killing. Because
Defeating.
defeating, yes.
You all level up by screwing each other over. Now you understand the temple.
If that counts as defeating, we need XP for half the temple.
All right, so you guys are undressing him of his armor?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Respectfully. Sort of. Alkur does have a scroll of bind undead out.
Okay.
So, what does driving a wooden stick through him do?
He is sort of like really rigid, but you're able to cut the armor off. This would require some repair afterwards.
Is he rigid as in doesn't move well, or is he rigid as in like we're gonna snap his limbs off if we try to?
There's a slight give to his limbs, but like rigor mortis rigid. I'm gonna send. You're taking off the armor, Oscar, right?
Yep.
But both Darian and Oscar are doing that.
What am I not getting? Crusher wants to go and help them.
Okay.
Here, 1 second. So,
Okay, you guys, over the course of a couple of minutes, are taking off his plate armor.
are you sure? Why don't instead of cutting these straps, we could just cut him? He's a fucking vampire.
And what if that wakes him up?
Then you smote him.
I don't know if you've noticed. I'm a little busy right now. It's just some leather straps. We can repair it.
That will take a few hours as well.
Well, I guess you're going to be fucking busy then, won't you, pal?
What happened to well-deserved rest? There's a whole library of books to read.
After your well-deserved rest.
Technically, I think I've already read them, but it's good to go back and refresh.
Okay, you end up taking off some cold iron armor.
That's some shit.
That's
I had never heard of that before. It's awesome. Does it
In
do
case-
anything?
In case you needs to punch a demon in the teeth.
Yeah, I
Needs
guess.
to hump a demon to death. Like, body slam.
Okay, you've got Prince Thrommel's armor damaged.
Yeah.
Kind of in a pile next to him.
I'll put it in party pages.
He's got a scar in his chest.
Is it in the middle?
It's in the middle.
Does it look kind of like a heart surgery scar?
It looks more like a sternum surgery scar.
Sternum surgery.
Remove a black stone scar.
All right. So, hey, Al. Why don't you feel there's a dent in here? Looks like somebody already got to him. I don't want to go next to it.
It's all right. We're over here. Come on now. Here, hold your hand.
Darian, get your sword ready.
All right. Got it.
Alkur's going to go in very, very carefully.
Okay.
Look for a dent in the bone.
Are you
Or something.
feeling, or are you just looking?
With feeling.
Okay. What is Bone Crusher doing anything? Is he approaching?
Crusher's just there.
Okay.
It's not.
Reaching out,
Reach out.
touching me, touching you.
Oh, he's saying aid. All right, I have that skill. Yeah, if you need an aid, I can probably give you, or just roll myself.
Alright, and the other roll.
I don't know what you're doing, but I can roll myself. You're screwing it up like that.
Crit fail on perception. Okay, there's some scar tissue here that's not allowing you to, like, it could be pushed down or...
We're going to have to. There's too much tissue, too many tissues here. We're going to need to cut into him if we wish to learn more.
What?
It's filled with scar tissue. I can't feel. And Alkur steps back.
He's lost his nerves. The temple's gotten to him.
I could try to wake him up.
What do we need with him? We could just seal him up. He's been here forever.
Well, if he's a vampire, we want to kill the vampire. If he's an evil vampire.
Yeah. 'cause
This
there's
is
other
feeling
types
very
of vampires.
complicated. Just wake him up.
Alright. Alkur is going to wake him up with the Disrupt Undead.
That is not what I meant.
Okay, Alkur begins to cast. The bolt, it's sort of like energy, right?
It's positive energy.
Okay, the positive energy
Only affects undead.
crackles along the vampire. Does it do damage?
It does.
Okay,
If
Does
they're
do
if he's
damage?
undead.
if they're undead.
give me damage.
So there's going to be some splaining if this is because it's 5d6. Boom! 24.
What
Wake up,
the
rise and
fuck?
shine.
Okay, so Alkur fires the bolt into the creature.
Okay.
Fort
And
save.
roll roll behind the screen here.
It's a basic
so-
fort save. So
That's some
you can
good
evade it or
damage.
whatever.
Good damage there.
There's light
Yeah,
that goes all around him, and then subsides, and it doesn't look like it's done any damage.
I
Hey.
thought
Kerr froze his brow and does it again.
Okay.
It should be actually 46. I was 5d6s after the sleepy. 21 damage.
Vampire Prince Rommel seems to be immune to this.
Hey,
Oh, he's protected from pulsive energy spells.
or if I didn't want anyone to bother my grave, I might make myself look like a vampire.
I don't
Could
understand
that
what
be
you're
it?
getting at.
the only ones that would walk in here are, well, goodly creatures. If they find a vampire,
Yeah, because
Destroy it.
the giant evil temple kept out the good guys, right?
no, that wall didn't it?
Well, question. Important question. Are you saying there's some sort of spell or flesh crafting that's gone on here, or are you seeing something that I don't?
Well, that's what I'm not sensing. There's no evil. Vampires are evil.
Does your spell only work on evil creatures or all undead?
It's not a spell. It's just
No,
what I can do. Oh,
Alkur.
Oh, I really only prepare if I'm very effective against undead. I don't like them. All right. So, if we were to, how else would we be able to wake him up? Or are we saying that he's?
Crusher goes.
Hey,
Okay, Ahmed, you're slapping the cold flesh of the vampire.
vampire. Enfeebled. Ah!
Oh! Hold on. Oh, give me a sec.
In first edition, no, I've reduced myself to first level.
Ahem.
He doesn't wake up. There's a horrible monster that you're slapping while it's resting in its tomb.
Well, can you lock him back up?
Are you just gonna leave him this way?
Yeah, till I can figure out what to do.
Well, he's got no armor on. And you
Got
got
no
a big
weapon.
Fuck off, shiny sword. You know the old story about the sword and the stone. You just do the opposite of that.
Marty,
No.
Crusher wants to examine for the wait a minute.
this doesn't make sense.
I
You're
was
telling
much more
me.
comfortable with this space when there wasn't a vampire over there.
No, this doesn't make sense. The only way he would get that scar.
No, that's
No.
that's in fact the opposite of how scars work.
That's not how scars work, no.
Right. So
Ooh!
someone held it. So then he was alive when that scar was made. Does
Yep.
that scar?
Ptolemy's
So
pointing
who
at his
held him?
nose.
Who held him down, and how was he brought back here, then put back in his armor with all these things? This doesn't make sense.
You're assuming that he wasn't willing. Hey, Ptolemy, speak up.
Oh, I'm just saying that yes, before he became a vampire, he had surgery.
Yeah, 'cause you dead guys don't make scars.
He would have been a vampire before he died.
Why? You had to get the rock removed, otherwise you can't be a vampire because your soul was in the rock, so you can't become a vampire because your soul's in the rock.
Okay, Crusher's gonna look at the medical check. Would that have worked on somebody? Like, would it have injured somebody who's not injured? Sorry, would it have killed somebody who's alive?
Yeah, give me a heal check.
That's surgery. You know what I mean? Like, who the hell's gonna hold him down? Was he released? 27.
No, you can have surgery and survive horrible wounds.
Then he was captured, rescued, and brought back. And then he turned into a vampire before he died. This still does not make sense.
The stitching was thick. They cut in the right place.
All right.
Swords have done worse to all of you. And monster claws and axes and...
Again, if it were me and I were a vampire, I'd want someone to put me out of my misery.
Right. So just, give him the ye olde.
Prince Thrommel is the rightful heir to this face of Runerak.
But if he's undead and I have a champion thing where I hate the undead, I don't have to accept the undead as rulers. They are not the rightful rulers.
Right.
Apparently I have to do if it's a demon or a dragon. Undead, screw you.
Well,
So,
you can close your eyes if you want, and you can sort of. Do you need Unky Dwarf to help you with your problem?
This man was the holiest of paladins in his day, and he led the armies of goodness and righteousness.
Shadow, does this smell like a vampire?
Yeah.
The loss of Prince Thrommel to vampirism is a huge loss.
it's a huge blow, yes.
Shadow's gonna go and try to sniff him.
Is it one of those things that you don't want anybody else to know about? Like that time that you didn't eat the food that agreed with you when you went to practice and you had that accident?
Who told you?
Shadow's now leaning down and sniffing at the vampiric and somewhat sleepy body of Prince Thrommel.
Yeah.
Shadow knows what vampires smell like.
31? I mean,
30?
30 or 31.
This is a human. He's not a vampire.
Ha! Is he dead? He sure looks it.
No, he's asleep.
Oh, well, now I just feel awful. He's looking at the armor they just wrecked.
Well, no. All right, so if he's awake, not awake, asleep, but not dead, but not a vampire, but has a face like that, what do? Give him a kiss? What kind of story is this? Do we have to give him a kiss?
No, Squish, we can't go and kiss the horrid vampire man.
He's not a vampire, it's all I'm telling you.
so he taps his nose like,
Trust me. I know what those bastards smell like.
Oh, we believe you.
Been 8 months in a goddamn castle. And that's not what I smelled.
So we're going to take our dagger out, and we're going to poke him around the mouth area, trying to see if it's like, we could like poke the teeth. And
Yeah,
like real...
Oscar is like poking the really sharp teeth, and yeah.
Shadow's going with his fingers like,
It's not a vampire.
oh, I need that.
They're normal teeth. They're not sharp.
Well,
Check your
perhaps
eyes.
stories of his good looks were greatly exaggerated.
Check your eyes.
I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. Why don't we... Alright, so... I want to try one of them voting thingies.
Not a vampire. I'm
Oh, say
guaranteeing
stake
you.
'em.
Ptolemy puts up his hand.
Darian, if he was a vampire, why couldn't you get the evil?
Yeah, that's my point.
And if he's undead and you touch him, doesn't it mess with you?
Well,
Or is it just ghouls? Or is it just ghouls that do that?
I'm not real specific on that stuff.
Oh, damn. But this guy,
Sticks his hand in his mouth.
he's not a vampire.
You see Shadow just sticking his clawed hand into the vampire's mouth, feeling around.
He's not a vampire.
Oh no! Don't get bit. We don't want a vampire werewolf.
It will be
Oh,
a
it does.
werewolf.
A vampire.
A vampire. Or a werewolf.
A werewolf.
Werewolf. Very frightening.
Werewolf.
Oh yes, Squish.
So,
Something's wrong with your eyes.
He would be an abomination.
what if we could just give him a little prick?
What would
How
cause?
about I give him a little prick?
What would cause a human to be in this
Alright.
state?
But he's like, isn't he like your god or something?
No, he's not my god. He's just a
Just,
historical figure of great significance.
right. Well, what if he doesn't? What if you get in like the bad books because you gave him a prick?
Well, it's better than being in his bad books because I cut his head off.
Well, that's right. We're going to start with a little prick, and if that goes all right, then we cut the whole thing off.
I am going to do this because I've seen where you put your little prick. There was no pun intended there.
I know I'm usually the crazy one here, but
Ptolemy's clasping
he's a human, right?
clasping Squish's ears. Oh, I know they're being very vulgar.
Darian will take his hand, or the prince's hand,
Okay, it is
just like
cold
kinda
and
cut
cold and clammy to the touch.
the end of his finger.
Like
Does he
a,
bleed?
he bleeds.
Like a living person?
Red blood comes out.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
If it bleeds, it's alive.
Yeah. I'm sorry. It's not a vampire. I
Ooh.
said it's human.
But vampires drink blood, so maybe he ate, and that's why he's so somnolent right now.
There's a difference
Holy
between being
cow, I'm
alive
surrounded by idiots.
and being full of blood.
Alkur will go take a look at the blood that's coming out to see if it's like fresh or healthy.
Okay, it is fresh-looking human blood.
This is fresh.
It's one of those, isn't it? One of those things that you do, Alkur. Make something look different.
I have a.
Lay on hands.
No,
to heal.
no,
Okay,
yes, that was what Alkur was thinking.
you lay on hands, and the wound closes.
He's
That
alive.
shouldn't have worked.
Oh, well, there you go.
So now the
Why didn't
question is,
anyone
how do
tell
we
us?
wait?
So the question is, how do you wake? How does a human get into the state? And how do you get him out?
Well, this is clearly some kind of curse.
Warp here. Warp here.
Try it.
I know, or do we have to identify the properties of the Holy Avenger?
No, when the silver glow went around you, it imparted the knowledge of how to use the blade.
I am going to try to use the blade to dispel magic on him.
Okay, give me a dispel check.
Does it just dispel at will?
No, it's once per day.
Okay.
It's not at will. It's Holy Avenger.
So you have to make a counteract check. So I'm not sure.
I believe it's a spell attack against spell defense, but I could be wrong there.
Hey, Vors, how's it going? Good to meet you.
Welcome.
Your statement smells suspiciously like a touring bot, but you know.
Oh, awesome.
What page is it again?
We've been playing D&D together as a group. This group probably for 20 years.
Yeah.
We've been playing in campaigns remotely since I moved out to Seattle. They are all in Ontario for the last 10, and about 2 years ago we decided to start sharing it on Twitch.
The worst 2 years of my life.
Fucking ass.
That's why I'm here every Saturday for 8 hours.
Yep, could be a bot.
There's a bot, all right. Welcome, bot.
Especially with that last thing.
Smells like a human. Trust me, it's human, guys.
Shadow bites him.
Trust me, it's a human.
That is.
That's funny.
All right, how do you make a dispel counteract check?
Oh, sorry, I was.
As per dispel magic.
Well, dispel magic says you do get a counteract check.
Yep.
Counteract 550.
It's funny.
I think it's against the DC of the spell, and then you roll your spell.
Yeah, I believe it's your spell attack versus their spell DC.
Which for you, Mark, will be your paladin champion attack.
You guys
Yeah.
turned for a second.
Tastes like human.
I think it's at the highest level focus spell I can cast, which is 5th. I don't know what that means, though. I remember it saying something like that. What the fuck?
58.
I think it's a counteract against the DC. 550, you said, is where counteract is?
Sorry, it's 458. I was having a dupe. Counteract if the target is no more than 3 levels higher than your counteract spell. Success counteract if your target if its counteract level is no more than 1 level higher than your effect's counteract level. Oh god, there's a whole section in here.
Yeah. So you roll your class as if you're attacking with your class.
Okay, so class DC. Oh crap.
Yeah, it's just a check against DC.
This would have been easier next level for sure.
If you fail, you counteract the target if the counteract level is lower than your effect's counteract level. So there's the spell level thing. So you. Yeah.
Well, for me it'd be my spell attack though, wouldn't it? Not my.
Yep, your spell attack.
Okay, yeah.
Which is your level plus your
Charisma modifier.
charisma, and then plus
two.
some sort of training. Yeah.
Yeah, it's only I get expert next level after we
Okay.
rest.
The DC of this effect that you're trying to dispel, if there is one, is 30.
And do you know what level the effect is?
Yep.
Okay.
30.
Okay. It is a 5th level spell that is running right now.
According to the thing I read on the Holy Avenger, it's a 5th level spell. It's considered a 5th level spell because that is my focus spell level.
Okay, the very, very convincing illusion burns away, and there is a sleeping Prince Thrommel in a box.
Illusion, I called it. So glad I didn't cut his head off.
Darian realizes that he could have lost his paladinhood by cutting off the Paladin Lord Prince's head.
Dirty tricks. Is this whole place an illusion?
Some evil madman's idea of a joke?
Oh, we're all gonna die screaming.
But wait a minute. If that gem is gone, and he's still here, that means you haven't fallen for this trick before.
Fair enough, or maybe we just never found the chamber before. I have a hard time believing we didn't pick up the sword before.
yeah.
Well, you've got Shadow on your side.
All right, so let's take a closer look at his chest scar now that the illusion's gone.
Yep.
Let's like do a medical check on him.
Yeah, I'll let you re-roll, given that there's something that was confounding in your way. He does have a scar that is healed over long ago, and
Nice.
you feel around, and it feels like he has had a small, perhaps gem-like thing removed from his sternum. He does not have a soul gem.
Oscar,
His gem has been removed.
Oscar, I suggest you take a gem and hide it on his person. In case.
Only place I know how to hide it on him would require him not going to the bathroom.
In either case, his soul would be safe for whatever happens next.
Why don't we wake him up?
How do we wake him?
Unknown.
The slapping didn't wake him up, the cutting his finger, the taking off of his armor, the medical inspection.
Open glove.
Oh, we got Twitch.
All right, why don't we...
Darian's gonna do what paladins do in times like this. He's gonna pray for it. And refocus.
and regain focus while doing so.
Okay. All right. So Darian's off to the side, praying.
All right.
Praying for answers and insight.
Alkur will attempt to restore him. I got like 2 spells left today. I might as well cast them.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes. If this
Chance
doesn't
to-
work, Darian's gonna go check the mantle for a holy symbol that would apply for this guy.
Is it
His-
possible
what
that
his
this
holy
casket's
symbol
doing
would
it? Yeah. Is it possible this casket's keeping him this way?
Possible. Magic is full of possibilities.
Well, let's move him onto the table. He means the dice. Krieger. Oh, he's all stiff. This is easy. He just picks him up.
Okay, Krieger's wandering over and picking him up. Yeah, you pick him up out of the box.
Oh, you sons of bitches. Alkur is going to very...
Wipe kind of some of your action figures off to the holy action figures off to the side and lay them down on the altar.
Bring him back, Krieger.
Aw.
Alkur's in the middle of casting a 1-minute long spell.
Krieger
Hold
puts
on,
him up
Krieger.
and uses him like an action figure. But I want to wake up.
If Darian was in the middle of a very long prayer, there would be censures.
There's a moment of.
All right, we will
Play that.
cast a restoration upon him that will reduce a condition or lessen a toxin. Is he clumsy, enfeebled, stupefied, or suffering from a toxin?
Okay, you do see a bit of color returns to his cheeks, and he mumbles a little bit. He stirs, but he still remains sleeping.
Hey, it's doing something.
It is.
Question: if he wakes up, will he want his sword back?
If he wants his sword back, well, I ain't no thief.
Well, you see, the objection here is...
Shadow's thinking, I think it's a vampire.
Oh, I know, Squish. It's gotten very complicated in here. Ptolemy walks outside.
we could bring him up to the peasants.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Have
Maybe
that lady take a look at him, perhaps. Or the farmer, he might know something.
the string or the farmer might know something. I am somewhat loath to admit a human farmer might know more than me on the subject, but
Hey,
That's
farmers are
being-
smart.
that subject being something other than farming.
They figured out you can eat turnips. Who would have guessed that?
It does require some experimentation, I'm sure.
That's good.
Is it really eating?
I guess so. He's got a point there. Trial and error. I can take him. I don't need to swing a hammer around. You do. Crusher will.
I mean, he's pretty rigid, and he's like a paladin, right? So if we like find a demon or something, doesn't this basically give Kreiger like a smite, where you just smack
What,
the demon
like
with
a-
a paladin?
You
Headbutt.
can hear Ptolemy muttering under his breath and kicking things. He doesn't think you can hear him.
Oscar's
Okay.
just gonna sort of sneak over to the.
Yep. Of course, when he wakes up, he's going to start bossing me around. I know, Squish. But this is my temple. A squire paladin, sure, but a prince paladin? It's going to be insufferable. Yes, it's quite unfortunate that they didn't cut his head off. Well, yes, I know. There would have been lots of crying and wailing and... Ugh. I suppose it's our fate to be tortured.
Krieger comes over, looks at Oscar. Do you want to tell him?
Nah, he's having a private moment. Just let the boy work things out. He's come to terms with his lot. Besides, if he does wrong by that boy, I will kill him, paladin or no. Oh, look at me, I'm the paladin lord. See that? To a knife and a kidney. Darian's not looking at me, is he?
Darian's cut. He's praying with clenched fists. You have finished refocusing, Darian.
Darian is going to
Commence the smiting.
commence the smiting. He's going to go to the other. Oh, I'm not.
Question, Darian.
Yes.
Darian, as you were praying and you kind of leaned on the side of the sarcophagus for a moment, as you were rising up, you caught a glimpse of you've been in this chamber before, and you've hacked off Prince Thrommel's head before.
Oh.
And you saw a brief moment of yourself pulling the head out of the box as it turned from the illusion of the vampiric Prince Thrommel into the decapitated dead head of your prince. You're pretty sure that bad things have happened to you spiritually in this room at least several times. One time you felt such guilt that the sword was turned against yourself. And another time you decided that was it. And cursed the gods.
Okay. Well, this is not a fun room anymore, Marty.
Now we turn this room into our forward base.
Shell's like,
You're welcome.
This could have been the end of me.
And the werewolf saved you. Look at that.
He's gonna go into this room here.
Oh, hello, Darian. This is Tommy.
The hell are you playing toys, Tommy?
No, that That was Kreiger. And Squish. He picks up Squish and he's holding him protectively.
Do I know what god he worshipped?
Prince Thrommel?
Yeah.
Prince Thrommel didn't worship the five-faced god. You're pretty sure it was called something